Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. And we're still working our way in reverse alphabetical order through Sibelius. And from this angle, you see all the empty shells back there. That's where Beethoven and the A's and B's are going to be. And I'm really curious to see how close we get to that. I'm hoping there's lots of extra space here. That's the goal anyway. So let's start. Without further ado, Sibelius 2 with Monteur. This is the Eloquence, Decca Eloquence reissue, coupled with the very fine Enigma variations. And this Sibelius 2 is really good. You know it's really good because the finale is 12 minutes and 1 second. And if the finale is 13 minutes or less, you're in really good shape. It can be a little more, but not a lot more. As with Carillon, it's 16 minutes or something. It's interminable. This is a lovely, fresh performance with the London Symphony, or this is a French Eloquence, so it's the Orchestre Symphonique de Londres with Pierre Monteur, and enregistré en juin 1958 et 1959. 1900, no, it's not 900, it's 90 cents. Oh, who the hell knows what it is? 58, 68, 58, whatever. Then we've got the classic Sibelius Violin Concerto with Heifetz, the performance that put the piece on the map for most other violinists. This is the Heifetz Reference recording. It's with, Thomas Beecham. Yeah, and the Tchaikovsky Concerto and the Glazunov Concerto. The Glazunov and Tchaikovsky are with Barberoli. And, oh my goodness, the London Philharmonic. And, that's vintage stuff. Sibelius Finnish National Opera Chorus and Orchestra. Cantatas, including Finlandia. Okay, so you've got Oma Ma, Homeland, my homeland, or whatever it's called. Snifrid. Snifrid is cool for reciter. I talked about these before. Impromptu, Vino's Song, which is also a very good piece, very late, Opus 110. The Laulu Lemminkainen, the Song to Lemminkainen, which is a bit of the Kullervo Symphony, if I'm not mistaken, or something similar to that. The Song to the Earth, and the original choral Finlandia on Ondine. All that stuff also appeared in the BIS edition, and we talked about that already. Oh, look, the RPO Legacy Volume 3 on Dutton, Sibelius 2 and 6, with Beecham, recorded in 1946 and 47. Now, these are studio recordings. Yes, they are. And they're in decent enough sound. And, Beecham was always a great Sibelius conductor, so they're fun to listen to. And the finale of the second is 12 minutes and 57 seconds. So you see where the experts are. And it's nice to have him do number 6, actually, which isn't all that common. Then we've got Ashkenazi and the Philharmonia doing Finlandia, the Karelia Suite, Luanatar, Tapiola on Saga with Elizabeth Söderström in Luanatar. She's not the best Luanatarist, actually. That's Phyllis Brynjolfsson with Gibson. But it's still quite good, and these are fun. Those are fun. Let's see, more tone poems. Finlandia, the Karelia Suite, and the complete Lemminkainen Suite, all 4 movements of it, with Petri Sakari and the Iceland Symphony Orchestra. These are nice. This whole series with the Iceland Symphony Orchestra was really very good. They weren't the most thrilling things in the universe. Hello there. Look, there's Finster. But they were very good. Oh, Sibelius 2. Finlandia, the Swan of Twinella, Poggio's daughter, Toscanini. I kept some of these separately just so I could find them easily. The finale of the second is 12 minutes, 11 seconds. See, there's a trend developing in all the best performances. The first movement, he blows through that in 8 minutes and 31 seconds. You can make that a little longer if you want, but it's still a very exciting performance. Poggio's daughter is terrific, surprisingly good. The Swan of Twinella is a beautiful performance, and Finlandia is Finlandish, of course. Yes, dear? Ali Mustonen plays Sibelius. There we go. Look at that. 10 pieces for piano, the March of the Finnish Jaeger Battalion. 13 pieces for piano, rondinos and bagatelles. Piano music by Sibelius is a rare thing, so that's fun to have. And you, my dear, cannot walk over here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sweetie. There's Finster. You've wondered where Finster is? Well, there she is. Hi, honey. You want to go down? I'm not going to keep you and make you crazy. I know. She likes to walk on the shelf. Thank you. Okay. Now I've got hair everywhere, but that's, the way it goes. Oh, yeah. Paavo Järvi, the Cincinnati Symphony on Telarc. Sibelius 2 and Tubin 5. What a wonderful coupling. What a wonderful coupling. Finale of Sibelius 2 here is 13 minutes, 41 seconds. You see, things started to slow down, but Järvi knows what he's doing. He's very good. There, see, there she is in her bin playing around. And it's really, and the Tubin 5 is a wonderful piece. Really a splendid work that never gets played. It's exciting and really thrilling. This was a wonderful disc. So that's good. Now we have a clump. Here's the clump. This clump is the Sibelius cycle and other things with Jukka-Pekka Saraste and the Finnish Radio Symphony. This was all done with RCA, and it must have been licensed, although it was produced by Brian Culverhouse. And it was released by RCA back in, it was 92. So it was in the day when, the record companies were going crazy, just recording stuff and flinging it around with, no promotion and no concern and no nothing. And they did that. And then they remember they did the Colin Davis Horrible Sibelius cycle on RCA with the LSO, which was just such a mistake, and it was just dreadful in every possible way. And they just deleted this, which they should have kept. They should have put this in a box and reissued it. Well, eventually they did. It showed up in a box inexpensively. That's upstairs somewhere. And it's really very good, with one exception. These were always good performances, a little bit on the cool side. But the couplings were great. It's Symphony 7 and the Lemminkainen Suite. Number 1 with the Karelia Overture, the Karelia Suite, and Finlandia. And you don't get the Karelia Overture very often. Number 2 with the Scene with Cranes from, Koalima. Vals Triest, Night Ride, and Sunrise. Number 3 has Belshazzar's Feast and the King Christian II Suite. King Christian II is glorious. Why that doesn't get played as often as any suite of anything, I have no idea. Symphony 4 with Pohjola's Daughter, the Bard, and the Oceanides, just totally cool. Number 5 comes with Ansaga and Tapiola. Now, this 5th was a little bit interesting when I talk about underplayed. Very precisely detailed, but sometimes precision is not always a good thing. At the end of the first movement, when it's da, 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 timpani, trumpets, da, da, dum, bum, bum, ba, da, 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 da. Well, one thing he notices is that the trumpets are only marked mezzo forte, and they make a crescendo towards the end of their phrase, getting louder and louder and louder as it goes, which is really quite effective, except the mezzo forte here is so mezzo that they just need to be louder. You just need to hear them better. You really do. It's right for what it is, but it's a little bit too subdued. And I remember hearing that it sent me running to the score, looking for what Sibelius actually wrote, and he does what Sibelius wrote. But what Sibelius wrote isn't what anybody else ever does, because it just needs to have a little bit more brilliance. And then Symphony number 6 with the Scènes Historiques 1 and 2. It's just a great series of all kinds of Sibelius stuff, and it was totally ignored by RCA, which is why I hung on to it forever. Let's see, what else have we got here? What are these? Oh, Sibelius Symphony Cycle, yes, with a few other goodies, with the Helsinki Philharmonic and Paavo Berglund on 2 EMI doubles. Now, these were the performances that EMI/Warner completely dissed because they were doing another cycle. Heard that story before, with Simon Rattle. A terrible one with Simon Rattle, or a lousy second-rate one with Simon Rattle, but he was the flavor of the month. And who was Paavo Berglund of the Helsinki Philharmonic to tell anyone how Sibelius ought to go, right? Yeah, see? That was so annoying. Now, this is the Sibelius cycle. We have cycles on top of cycles with Lauren Maazel and the Pittsburgh Symphony. Here it is on Sony. They also did the violin concerto with Julian Ratchlin, I think it was, or something like that. Anyway, it's just a snooze fest. The tempi are slow. The playing is gorgeous. The Pittsburgh Symphony is marvelous. Maazel is such a weird interpreter, and he just drags and drags and drags and drags. It's awful. Except, there's an exception in every pile. Third Symphony, one of the best ever. Absolutely stunning, fantastic, amazingly wonderful. It really is. And it comes with the Swan of Twinell and the Karelia Suite and the Valstrist and Finlandia and all that stuff. This was worth the price of the whole series. It was also boxed up and reissued, but yeah, who cared? So there we have it. The first batch of Sibelius's. And this our, what is this, the fourth video, I think? Or something like that? Yeah, I mean, the fourth Sibelius thing we're doing. Yes, there's more to come. Oh, so much more to come. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.